Money. Joey. 500. Got some goats in the building.
Get ready for a shakedown.
Prepare for a shakedown. We from Philly where they clap like huddles when they break down. Get ready for a shakedown. We underdogs, my guy. Kinda used to all the hate now. Prepare for it, man, y'all get it. My QB got swag, my wideout is award winning. His fly was fly. Joey and 500. Like and subscribe. Yeah. Here's a quote you can sing back. Shake squad up and don't be a dingbat. It's a shakedown.
Don't you frown. Here comes the shakedown.
Let's go.
Yo, by the way, kick things back here, and welcome to another Philly Shakedown podcast with your host, Philly 500 and Joey Shakes. Joey, what is happening, my man?
Not much, man. Just chilling, and we have a lot to discuss. A lot. It seems like a lot has happened. Preseason's over with, but we have a lot more to talk about. Mm-hmm.
Yes, it is. Yes, it is. What is going on, everybody? John Dunham is here. Kyle's here. Simon's here. Jerry, Jaden, Chris, YouTube Pump Life, Fox World, MJ Lips, J-Dog, Philly Oso, Buzz. What is going on, Trav? What's going on, everybody? Witch King, Sean Davis. What is up, man? 27 Bro Productions. What's up? Mr. No Name. Punjab. What's going on? Jules. How's everybody doing? Thank you guys so much for being here. And listen, we are finally through the preseason, which was just, oh, man, that game was just, that was a,
Wham.
oh, God, that was a typical preseason 3, last preseason game, man. It was just, it just never ended. But before, like you had said, we hadn't talked since before the trade that happened the other day. Yeah. I think we definitely need to talk about this. The Eagles getting Jahan Dotson for a 5th round pick for a 3rd round pick and 2 7s in 2025. What were your thoughts on that, man?
I mean, I made a video a week prior to this because there was news that came out that really Jahan Dotson was on the bubble, really not even in competition for wide receiver 2, but might not even for wide receiver 3. Then all these rumors started coming out of, he was moping around or he just didn't seem like he fit what Dan Quinn wanted. But really surprised he's traded within the division. I think the Eagles had an extra 3rd rounder. They had they had 4 7th round picks. So, those picks, the 3rd round pick is nothing for a 1st round talent that you would think he's a number 2 with the Commanders or a 1B to a 2. But now he's a number 3 with less pressure off of him now. What defenses are going to have 3 legit corners? Like, how deep are teams at cornerback where you can guard Smitty, where you can guard A.J. Brown? He might be the 5th option. He might be the 6th option if you add Jalen Hurts to the mix when it comes to him extending plays. I think Commander fans are pretty pissed off maybe about the trade, but I think they're more pissed off about where he actually went. So
yeah, well, interdivision rivalry trades are always rare. And if I have one thing that worries me about this trade, it's the fact that Washington was willing to trade interdivision. Like, that always scares me when a team is willing to trade a player within their division right before the season. That said, though, I thought it was a great move. I mean, I said I thought the Eagles were going to get a receiver. He was at Devontae Smith's softball game. Everybody who goes to Devontae Smith softball games ends up in the Eagles. So to me, it worked again. I was thinking more John Mechie, maybe a guy they tried to trade for, but they were able to pull this off. And I think Jahan Dotson, I think as that 3rd wide receiver provides a lot for the Eagles and for this team as a whole. Like you said, here you're talking about what, the 6th option on this team. That's nasty. And, you could talk about, look at all the weapons we have. But the one thing that we have to go along with that is we got a great offensive line. Usually when teams have a lot of weapons like that, their offensive line's not that great. Our offensive line is really, really good. Mm-hmm. So I expect big things.
Now you talk about the price and the things you could do. So he's on contract for this year and throughout 25 with a 5th year option. on top of it, because he is a first-round pick, he costs $1.5 million for this year, nothing. $3.5 million for next year, nothing. And the Eagles have 2 decisions to make after 2 years. So if he plays good the next 2 years, they could flip him for draft capital. Say the Eagles do well, and they're not going to have a high first-round draft pick. They could, if he plays more their expectations, he could, flip for a couple draft picks in a couple years. Or the Eagles, you're already paying a lot of, already paying some receivers now, but statistically, you're only looking for him to get 400 to 600 yards, 400 to 500 yards, maybe like 350 to, something like that. Nothing crazy, but
yards somewhere on there. I mean, he's cheap. He's like $4 million for like the next 2 years. There's no even, to me, there's not even a reason to rush and move him. I think it gives you a chance to develop like a guy like Nolan Smith. Now, let me ask you, who do you think ends up getting cut because of him?
It's really tough because I feel like Anais, and this might be really bad. This might sound horrible because it's changed since this Jahan Dotson has been signed. I feel like Anais Smith will make the roster. I think only because they don't want to risk him getting, picked up off the practice squad. They keep 6 guys, in my opinion. I think the odd man out, really, I think 2 guys that could be out is John Ross and Paris Campbell. Paris Campbell just got back from injury not too long ago, was limited, now full. He was really the clear wide receiver 3 lead in camp with no pads on, then really a couple days into full pads on. And, so, and John Ross has a solid, okay camp, but how much, how highly do you think of him? Do the Eagles want to use him for kick returns? How much productivity is he going to have? I'm not really sure. So I think with Johnny Wilson making the team, Britton Covey making the team, and obviously you're starting 3, I think Anais Smith will make the roster. That's in my opinion.
Yeah, I mean he was a 4th round pick, right? I can't see the Eagles cutting a 4th round pick.
Yeah.
So I think he makes the roster. I actually thought Anais Smith played pretty good today. Like I thought he had a much better game than what he's looked like.
Oh
earlier.
yeah.
We're going to get into the games in a second. Tiffany Dawson, thank you for the super chat. Eagles lost 2 preseason games this year, and we won the Super Bowl. That year we did we really? The last time? I mean, I don't remember. I know that today was brutal. It was brutal. Dude, Kenny Pickett stinks. Like, he stinks.
No.
He can literally not throw over 4 yards. He's got his Michael Jackson glove on. He's throwing the ball. Ow! And it don't go nowhere, dude. I don't understand why they think he's a number 2.
And it doesn't help to put McKee in a game like this, especially the 3rd preseason game. This is the back end of your roster that's really – you don't have your first, your seconds. You don't barely even have your thirds at this point. You're at the back end. So McKee taking the second half, things are going to look ugly. The protection's not going to be great. So he struggled too. But at least with McKee in the second half, you got at least a rhythm, in the offense. Right. Couldn't score, but you got a rhythm. But with Pickett, man, I mean – clearly, who's the number 2 right now? We know Will Grier is probably gone, but who's the number 2 right now?
I mean, it's Pickett. They're going to make Pickett the number 2, but I really don't believe that's coming from the coaches. I believe that's a front office decision. I just do. I don't. Mm-hmm. And I just want to say, Tiffany Dawson, thank you so much for that super chat. We appreciate it very much. Kadeem says, I like E.J. Jenkins. I like E.J. Jenkins too. Now, I have a 53-man roster coming out. And in my 53-man roster, I actually cut Jenkins. And I'm telling people ahead of time so they know they don't get all mad. But I was thinking about this. What players, it's not just who has played well and makes a team, but like, who do you think gets through waivers? That's the question. Do you think Anais Smith gets through waivers? I personally don't. But I think E.J. Jenkins actually gets through waivers if you put him on waivers. So I think you could let him pass through waivers, keep 2 tight ends, bring him back the next day on the practice squad, and you're set and you're good to go. This gives you an option to keep another spot open where I think, you got some tough decisions to make. But, I mean, we'll see how they do it.
It's a tough one for me because tight end is so thin right now, and you're really and nobody's been healthy. That's the problem. So I have E.J. Jenkins there because out of desperation. Yep. Not that I think E.J. Jenkins is a bad player or necessarily the greatest player, but they need a body there.
He deserves to make it.
Yes, I agree.
He is one of the best 53-man roster guys. I agree. But I'm trying to think of this in terms of who can I sneak past waivers? Because I think you got certain situation. What will happen?
Someone says punch him in the face and put him on IR. Well, Philly, you have to think about this too.
That's man. Philly also knows.
But
Philly also knows.
But Philly,
punch him in the face and put him on IR. I love it.
There's a thing.
That's a champion right there.
That's a great comment. There's a thing called the fake IR. How many times do they use it on players they know they're going to get? Like Jordan Mailata. How many times was he on that?
Don't be surprised if a guy like Johnny Wilson hits IR because he has a concussion right now.
For 3 weeks.
Avante Maddox, big ass toe, boom. Throw his ass on there.
Yeah,
oh, I hurt my groin. Oh, my left ball's a little heavy today. On the IR. There you go. That's what you got to do. You have to stash people. There's no question. But you can only stash so many people.
Right.
Now, as far as today's game, the Eagles lose. Was it 26-3? I think was the final score. It was Cooper DeJean's. It was Cooper DeJean's debut. I can't tell you how many people think he's a bust because of the first series. Look, I thought he started a little slow, but I thought as the game played, he got better and better. What did you think? What did you see from Cooper DeJean?
I think against the run, he's great. He can get in front of blockers. His tackling is amazing. He had those 2 stops in the end zone. I think it was on the same receiver not getting his second foot down. So there was some things, like the beginning, but he's in a game environment. If you guys are expecting Cooper DeJean to walk into this game and just shut down everybody immediately, it's not going to happen. He's slowly coming back from limited and just coming back.
They thought they were getting some Grey Poupon today.
No, that's what I'm
saying. Boom.
You got to give this. You got to give this time. It's going to take more time for Cooper DeJean. I think. I don't want him to redshirt this year.
Are we sure he's not Italian? He can't be Cooper DeGino.
Cooper DeGino. Cooper DeGino.
Yeah. Hey, Cooper DeGino. When he plays good, he's Cooper DeGino. When he plays bad, he's Cooper DeGino. Shrek Smith, thank you for the super sticker, my man. Appreciate that. Let me catch up with a couple of these. Jose Davis super chat. He goes, as content creators and fans, do you guys put more emphasis on preseason or training camp? We should already know what we have from training camp. I think as a content creator, you can only go on what you hear from the coaches. I think they put more emphasis, obviously, on camp. But, it's hard when all we see is what we see in preseason. So, I think logically you have to put it on training camp. But it's easier because you see it to react to preseason.
You know my answer. I've hated that. How I don't like this year how the Eagles get one joint practice, not 2 days, one day, and you do not start any of these starters in these preseason games, in these game-like situations. Either. I can't stand it.
I don't like that
my
either.
answer.
When I see Patrick Mahomes out on the field, I'm like, if he could be out on the field, then why can't our guys?
Jordan Love too. You're facing a team that's already had that's already been on the field in preseason.
Right.
So.
Troy Pearl, thank you for super chat. He goes, so ready to just stomp the Packers. Week 1 will tell us exactly what we need to know. Go Birds, Hurts MVP incoming. Yeah, listen, I think Hurts has a monster year. But getting back to DeJean though, I thought he was good, but I'm telling you, he looks like a safety to me. He's physical. He likes to hit. He can play to run. Maybe he is not the best cover corner. I don't know. He just looks like a safety when I watch him play. But I thought he got better as the game went on. Obviously, he hasn't played since last November, and then he missed all of camp. So I thought overall I was okay with the way he played. I did.
Yeah, it was a good day. It was a solid day for him coming back.
Yeah. And I liked what I did like that they did was that they played him the whole game.
Yeah.
Except for maybe the end of the fourth quarter.
Right.
But he played a lot. Steve says Cooper's going to be fine. Don't listen to those people. No, I agree with you. I agree. I think he's going to be fine too. Joseph, 500 Joey, what good did you take from the last preseason game? Well, there was a few guys I thought, because I mean I think it's about the individual guys that kind of stand out. I thought Ben Van Sumeren and McCollum were the two best players on the field.
Yeah.
I thought they were the best. I think McCollum's got to make this team as a safety. I think it'd be criminal if he doesn't.
It's going to be tough for me to say McCollum's going to make it, just because you got to look at who's dressed and who's not dressed. So safety, right? You have obviously Chauncey Gardner-Johnson. You have Reed Blankenship. Avonte Maddox, primarily where he didn't dress, but primarily where they have him at first. Is it safety or is it nickel? Because nickel's, yeah, it might be. So let's just say it is nickel. So there would be, I think, some room for Tristram for McCollum to be there, because he had a pick today, which they had the DeJean penalty, which didn't count, but nice that he got the pick. And I like that he has, he's a hard tackler. He's a contact safety. He loves to hit. So I thought he's
around the ball, really, man.
Well. Yeah.
Even if you look at every game McCollum's played, he's always around the ball. But if we do look at the safeties, right, you're going to have Blankenship and CJ Gardner-Johnson, then probably Bradbury. If Bradbury's on this roster, I still don't believe Bradbury's going to be on this roster week 1. And then you got Sidney Brown, who I don't think is going to be activated right away.
No.
So I think you have one spot left for a safety, and to get McCollum in there,
If Sidney Brown is still on the PUP list by the regular season, obviously he has to be out an automatic 4 weeks. So if he comes back week 5, will they allow him to come back week 5, or they might just put him on IR for 8 weeks and get him at the end of the year?
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, I don't think Brown's gonna be ready right away, but I think give him a month or two. Ruben Ortiz says Puerto Rico in the house. Hey, shout out to Puerto Rico. 500. I don't miss any videos. Thanks, Denzel. Thank you, my man. Appreciate you. But I thought McCollum was good, and then Van Sumeren, man, he's a player.
Instinct, bro.
Is a dude. I actually I know it's crazy, but I'm actually very. I have a positive outlook on the linebackers. Even if you don't like Nakobe Dean, I think there's upside with Trotter. I think there's Van Sumeren, and I got to tell you, I thought Oren Burks played really well today too. How do you keep all those guys, though? That's going to be the problem. They're going to keep Devin White-Bond, Trotter, Nakobe Dean, and Ben Van Sumeren. Do you keep 6 linebackers? Do you keep Burks as an off-the-ball linebacker? That's the question.
Well, Patrick Johnson's had a solid camp, has had a better camp than Burks has had, but I don't know if Patrick has shown is really good in the perimeter. So they might keep 5. It could be. I mean, sir, they might keep.
They're going to keep 5. I think they'll keep 5. I don't know if they'll keep 6, but that means Oren Burks would be the guy out, and he missed a lot of camp. But I thought he was all over the place today. I did.
True.
Big Mob, welcome back to Dingbat, Tinfield Dingbats. Thank you so much, Dingbat Nation. Thank you, my man. Appreciate you. I think you got some tough decisions at linebacker. Tough decisions with McCollum probably. This is why I'm saying maybe if you could look at it in terms of who we can sneak past waivers, I think you go that route. Like how many running backs do you think they'll keep? I'm thinking 3.
Yeah, I don't know if they'll keep 4. I think Price really hurt himself today.
He looked good until that fumble.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. The fumble kills all that momentum, unfortunately. But I think they need depth at other positions. I don't think it is the most important to keep 4 running backs on the active roster. So I probably agree.
Yeah, I think 3 running backs, and then I see 2 coming back. And going to practice squad. So Alexa Gamer says, if Dallas repeats the division champion, Philly 500 is going to be Dallas 500 and sacrifice 500 to the Cowboys. Dallas wins the Super Bowl. Philly 500 has to stay with Cowboys forever. That's never going to happen. Dallas lost Bland for 6 to 8 weeks today. You guys are in trouble already. But yeah, I thought McCollum was good. I thought Ben Van Sumeren. I mean Trotter didn't play that much. I think he played like a quarter, and he made one good play. I thought. Who else?
Do you think Dean should have played? You think Dean should have at least played in this game? Are you okay with him sitting out?
A little bit. No, I think he should have played. But, I mean, I'm not super worried about Dean, I guess. I mean, Dean is going to be what he's going to be. I'll tell you, Nolan Smith worries me. I'm trying to keep my head about it and be logical and give it time till the season begins. But he was out there getting manhandled by third stringers today, man. I guess I've hit a nerve, haven't I?
Yeah, because there are people that still defend Nolan Smith. Like last year is last year. I perfectly get that. But Jalix Hunt has looked better than Nolan Smith. And that's just the truth. And I'm sorry, but his technique and barely having tools in the toolbox, like the 2 sacks he got, I don't even care about the sacks, even though those sacks I don't even count because he was literally helped into a lane by a running back chip, and then the other one he was unblocked. So how much do I put into that? And I know we've been over this a million freaking times this offseason. So I say this: you got rid of your best pass rusher in Hassan Reddick. We won't go any further than that. But not only did you get rid of your best pass rusher, you got rid of your best closer. And we don't even know if we even have that. We don't even know if we actually have anybody that can get help. Get penetration on the edge at all, because I'm sorry, but I've looked at Nolan Smith, hasn't done much. Josh Sweat, he changed his number to 19, and that's the only bit of news I've heard this offseason. And Jalix Hunt has been the perimeter guy that Fangio really likes. And other than that, there's really nothing there. Like Nolan Smith, man, he's got – I figured going into this camp, or at least before training camp started, I figured maybe he'll cross-train an outside linebacker. Maybe they'll put him somewhere else. I don't know. But if Fangio doesn't have any truth to Nolan Smith and his physicality on the edge, just bull rushing tackles that's not going anywhere, I mean, at least show me some – if you're not getting sacked, show me some pressures. Like Nolan Smith, man, it looked – I'm not going to say it's a bust yet, but are the Eagles going to wait until he hits a Brandon Graham season, like late bloomer in his career, and wait until that happens? Like, it's very frustrating, dude. It's very frustrating.
Yeah. I he played, I think he played like a whole half today. And I think he actually played into the third quarter. But the fact that he played so long, like, how could they view him if they're playing him in this final game into the third quarter?
So Nolan Smith talked after the game and said that I don't know if he was supposed to not be dressed for this game, because he said he put himself out there. He had talks today about playing today. He always I just wanted to play today because I want to get myself ready for the regular season. I had to talk with the coach. I'm like, can I really believe that? Like, if he was not dressed for this game, I'd be like, what are they thinking? I don't know.
If Jalen Carter said, I want to play today, the Eagles would have told him, forget it, you're not playing today.
Right.
So listen, I'm gonna wait. I'm gonna wait. I'm not gonna kill him right now, but
I know.
But it does worry me. He worries me. Explain why the quarterbacks are so the backup quarterback. Listen, I think that the front office traded for Pickett, and they've decided that he needs to be the backup. And I think they've pushed it all training camp. And I think that takes away from guys like McKee playing and stuff like that. So to me, I don't know. If something, God forbid, happens, hurts, I'm very concerned.
Yeah, I don't. Yeah, I'm not sure what they even think.
No, Brandon Graham didn't look great at first either. I mean, it's true. You can't give up on a guy. I'm not, by no means do I say give up on Nolan Smith. I'm just saying, I'm just concerned. I'm just concerned. I'm concerned that he was even out there.
The only
that long.
Yeah, but I'm saying the only reason why I'm not like giving up on him is because last year, like, what promised coaching staff did you have to really put these guys in successful situations last year? That's why I give him a pass, because they barely played him. I know he got injured, but they barely played him at all. So, and he got more snaps at the end of the year. So I'm just hammering on him right now because it's just like, I'm not even seeing a couple pressures. I don't give a shit about the sacks. Like, sacks or sacks, whatever. But the pressures, like, at least be disruptive. And he's not even that.
To me, It's the fact that he's out there for so long today playing that concerns me, because it concerns me of how they're viewing him.
But even if they let him play, if they say, hey, if Nolan says, if they let Nolan play, okay, we're going to let you play, they wouldn't let him play for that long.
Yeah, he played until like the third quarter.
Come on.
Steve says Nolan Smith was getting pushed around by God. I know, he was. He was. It's true. I mean, we'll see. I mean, we'll see. Cooper hurt himself today with the penalty. I'm not impressed with him. I think it was his first game back since November. First preseason action, missed all training camp. I thought Cooper DeJean got better as the game went on. But yeah, I mean, he looked rusty at first.
Come on, guys. You can't go off of one. Sorry, go ahead. Go ahead.
No. Jalix Hunt looks better than Jalix Hunt has looked better so far in camp. Yeah. I agree. Robert is worried about Davis too. The thing with Jordan Davis is we've seen flashes of Jordan Davis, especially at the beginning of last year. There were times where he looks impressive, and then he just fades. So to me, the issue with Jordan Davis is going to be his conditioning and how much he can play. And we're going to find out. I do think this is a critical year for Jordan Davis as well as Nakobe Dean.
Yeah.
In reality, it's Nolan's. Why is it Nolan's rookie year? I don't understand.
Because last year's a wash. Because it's a wash.
But last year he played. He was hurt at the beginning of the year, but he played at the end of the year. It's not it's his second year, right?
Right. Yeah. Technically, yeah. Right. But everyone's making it a wash. It's just
I just can't say it's if a guy's not there, don't play all year. I understand if he gets no snaps on it, but he got playing time. He had a sack last year versus Miami.
Unblocked.
Chris Kaufman. What's that?
Sorry,
you're
good. I said unblocked. So.
Come on, man. He's fast. No speed. Chris Kaufman Jr. Thank you for Super J goes to have Carter come off the edge and Graham in the mid. I think you'll see Graham inside at times in third down because they've done that before with him. I'm sure that they're going to be. I mean, listen, one of the things they say about Fangio is he doesn't blitz a lot. He blitzes a lot this preseason. And I wonder if that's because he's concerned that he's not generating pressure off the edge. That's what I wonder.
I mean, Jalix Hunt is hurt with the oblique injury. Jalix Hunt's hurt with the oblique injury. So that's an injury that could take up to a few days to 3 weeks. Like, what if you don't have Jalix Hunt for a couple weeks into the season? I mean, you're going to be so down at edge. It's not even funny. It's crucial.
I mean, do you think the Eagles will make a move over the next few days for an edge rusher? Do you see another move coming?
The only move I can see them doing right now is just signing a free agent and Yannick Ngakoue that's still out there right now. Other than that, like, I don't know if they want to make any more trades and give up more draft capital at this point. Like, how much of a big player are you going to, or at least a rotational guy or somebody that, has a good reputation that is good in the rotation or something like that. I don't know what's going to happen, but I've always felt like they had to upgrade this position. Otherwise, if they don't, then next year they really have to.
We are really counting a lot on Bryce Huff and Nolan Smith. I mean, we are counting a lot on those guys.
Mm-hmm.
It would have been nice. I'm just saying to have Reddick one more year to kind of get us a chance to see these guys and what they can do. Who's our tight end behind Goddard? Asked Jason. That'd be Grant Calcaterra. Grant Calcaterra is your backup tight end, but he's hurt again too. So then you go to your third tight end, which is EJ Jenkins right now. Joe Flacco, I think Joe Flacco's with. Who's he with right now?
He's not with the Browns. Who's he with now?
Yeah. I want to say, is he with Cincinnati?
I'm not sure.
He's with somebody, or he might be with Indy. I think he might be with Indy. Big Mac, thank you for Super Chat. Goes, I think Nolan and Coop will look better with the ones. I think so. I mean, listen, the Cooper DeJean, I'm not worried about. Like I said, I thought he got better as the day went on. I mean, that was his first preseason game. It's going to take him, let him get his feet under him,
Yeah, he's going to get wet.
We got Sweat too. Sweat has to bounce back. he's got to be a double-digit sack guy as far as I'm concerned.
This is the first year this is honestly the first year where we're not saying, man, this defensive line has so much depth. Like, this is the first year where the Eagles have really put, maybe that Fangio is blitzing a lot. Maybe they put this much, compensation into their resources, into their secondary, because they're really trying to, they want these ball hawk capable guys. They want to get interceptions. They want to get these fast break tackles, 5-6 helmets to the football. Mm-hmm. They want a swarm. That's what they want. I mean, the defense just has to be average. I think hopefully it can be better than that. But, what happens if you don't have consistent pressure with your defensive line? That's going to be something new. We're never really used to, we're not really used to that,
Yeah. I like the interior defensive line. I think the interior will be good. It's just those edge rushers have to develop. And listen, maybe Bryce Huff gets there because we've barely seen him. Maybe he gets out there week 1 and he shows us what he is. I mean, it might be fine. John Dunham, thank you for the super chat. He goes, these so-called Eagle fans saying Cooper DeJean is a bust and didn't look good. Then when he plays amazing for us, they'll say he's amazing. Absolutely. I don't know what people were expecting from him the first game, to be honest. Like, I don't know. I mean, literally, guy hadn't played all training camp, missed all those practices, missed those preseason games. Then, he came out, and I thought as the game went on, I thought he got more comfortable. Eagles Army Down Under, thank you so much for Super Chat. These Georgia boys, besides Carter, seem to need to adjust. Even Trevon Walker needed time. Maybe coming from such a stacked college team with made them rely on teammates too much. Maybe. Maybe. Listen, we could be jumping the gun with Nolan Smith. We kind of have to wait and see what he does. But question is how much will he play? And we'll see. To me, what stood out to me about Nolan Smith today was the fact that he was in there. I was surprised that he played so much. I could have seen him playing a series, maybe 2, but into the third quarter.
But do we talk about do you agree Vic Fangio has really took gambles? Like, he's talked about Bryce Huff like he's learning a new position. Well, I guess he is, because he's never dropped in coverage as a defensive end, and obviously he's playing more snaps now. Look what he did with Quinyon Mitchell. Like, for the first round pick, he took a big gamble and said, you know what, we're going to throw you at nickel. And he didn't really play well in the beginning of camp. We saw he really wasn't getting that much attention. And then as the competition went on and he was doing well, you might have a cornerback, one of the future, not only could play outside really well, but God forbid you garnish injuries, you can always put him on the inside for some weird reason because of matchups or something like that. So I think Fangio has taken really big gambles. It just depends on how much is it really going to pay off for this year.
Well, we'll see. We'll see. If things have a weird way of working out. You see Nakobe Dean, and he does, all of a sudden he shows up in preseason, gets to the regular season. For all we know, he could totally disappear, and a guy like Nolan Smith who did nothing could totally emerge. You just don't know. I just don't know how much you can put into sometimes what you see at preseason. I just don't know. We just have to wait and see. If they believe Nolan Smith, he wouldn't have been there that was my thought when I saw him in there as long as I did. I was like, all right, why is Nolan Smith still in there? I understand why Cooper DeJean is in there. He needs the reps. But why is Nolan Smith still in there in the third quarter? That was what made me go, what's going on?
Because I wanted to play. I told them I wanted to play. Like, get at. If they thought you were ready for week 1, they're not going to put you in a game and risk injury. Like, it's not going to happen.
Right. If they think that you're that good, then you're not playing. You're not playing. How do you feel about our backup secondary? Well, I like some of the outside corner. I like some of the young guys on the outside in the corner. I think the safety needs some depth. And then, I still think the Bradbury situation, it sounds like they're going to keep him. I know that's the way it looks, that he didn't dress today. I still think they're going to move him before. I still think they're going to move him before week 1.
It's either they have something in place value-wise. If they have a trade in place, it's got to be good compensation then, or something of a mid-round pick or something like that, because they'd rather keep him than get nothing for him or barely anything for him. I don't know.
Do you think it's possible they could trade Avonte Maddox?
Does he?
I mean, he's a backup slot corner right now, and then he's a backup safety. So he's backing people up. Cooper DeJean, how soon before he goes into number 2 in that depth chart? Quinyon Mitchell is obviously your slot corner going into the season.
Yeah, I mean, if it's really between Bradbury and Avonte Maddox, possibility. I mean, he's got no value like the last few years because all he's been is injured. So it really just goes on this offseason and how he's been doing. So because you have DeJean coming back into that nickel spot where now you have depth behind Quinyon now, I guess you could make the case for it. Maybe.
I thought Josh Jobe, that kid Sam, McPherson, I thought they all played horrible.
Yeah, they weren't good.
No, I think they're all gone. It's a Philly thing since I was at the. Oh, that's cool, man. Did you have a good time? Yeah, it's Cooper's first preseason game. Yep. Let's see here. Yeah, it's gonna be, it's gonna be interesting. Brother Hannibal says the translation of him playing is Fangio's not sold Nolan Smith. When Fangio came out and just downplayed his first game where he had the sack, I was like, oh, that doesn't sound good, dude. That doesn't sound like he believes in this guy right now. So,
no, I think maybe the Eagles smelled themselves a little too much when they went after Jalen Carter and said, oh, let's go get the other Georgia Bulldog in the late first, and where they probably could have traded that pick back, got more compensation, could have probably done more with it. I mean, we were excited about it, but I thought it was a good pick. Thank God that Nolan Smith wasn't the 10th overall, the 9th overall, because that would have been horrible.
Yeah, everybody, a lot of people want him 10. I did not want him 10. But, it is what it is. Anthony Perry says McCollum needs to make the team. I think McCollum earned a place on this team. I'll tell you, I forget the guy's name on the offensive line. There's an offensive lineman I too think God, what's his name? Denard? Is it Denard? Is that what it is? He earned a spot on this roster, too. I thought there was an offensive lineman. Kennard and McCollum are two guys that I think you got to keep, because I thought he played good today too.
Yeah, even Keegan didn't dress at all, so that's a good. I think he's had a great offseason.
Kennard,
same shit.
Yeah, I thought he's been really good. So I think they keep 3 running backs. I think they keep probably 6 wide receivers.
Agreed.
I think they're going to keep 2 tight ends, and I think they think Jenkins makes it through waivers. And then I think they're going to keep probably an extra offensive lineman or defensive lineman. I just don't know. Do you think Johnson makes this team?
Fred Johnson,
rushing
left tackle?
No, the other Johnson, the pass rusher.
Who?
What's his face? I forget his name.
I'm sorry. Patrick. Who are you talking about? Patrick Johnson? Who are you talking about?
Yeah, Patrick Johnson.
Yeah, I mean, how do they look at him? Do they look at him more as an outside linebacker? Do they look at him more as an edge rusher? I mean, they could move him around too because the guy's got a pass rush.
I thought he's good off the edge.
Yeah, he is.
I mean, I thought he's good off the edge. I would keep him. I would keep Patrick Johnson. So I would keep. I think. See, that's what I'm saying. Like when you have these spots that you're unsure of some of these guys, you have to keep the depth. Like. You have to keep that extra pass rusher just in case, in my opinion,
I agree.
But how he's going to do something, not sure what it is. I still think I'm still suspect about Bradbury being on his team week 1. And if he is, it'll be as a backup safety, then so be it, But I still think McCollum's got to make this team, man. And Eli Ricks, I would like to see Eli Ricks make this team, but I just don't know if he's going to be able to.
Yeah, there was a lot of blown. I mean, usually in the third preseason game, it's usually a lot of blown coverage, and You know, I think I think he might. I mean, if he makes it onto the Eagles practice squad, I don't think he'll last if he even makes it. I think somebody will pick him up because he's had starting capability. We've had him on the outside before. You know, when we had injury to the nickel spot, and we were really rotating guys in like all year, and he got a good amount of playing time. So, the corners deep, like Ringo, is you have Isaiah Rodgers across from Slay. You're going to have Ringo there. So you always have, Ringo, I think could start right now if you really wanted him to as the number 2. I mean, I would feel comfortable with him as well. So it's nice to have that depth there.
Yeah. I would not be surprised that when the final 53-man comes out, it's going to have some weird things on it, like 2 tight ends, maybe 7, 8 wide receivers for some weird reason. Like, I think they're going to do some weird things because they got plans to make some moves.
True.
I think we signed an edge depth like Randy Gregory, or Charles Harris, and some offensive lineman depth, Big V and Bagatari. And I think we need to trade Maddox or JB during cuts for some picks, and even the tight end. Like, is Pitts even available?
No,
from Atlanta. I don't know, but I do think that they would still like to trade Bradbury.
Yeah, Randy Gregory, he just disappeared from. I don't know what happened. He just disappeared from the Niners camp, or he didn't show up, and he's been gone. Like, there's been no. He's had these little weird things going on. I don't know. It's
he's
weird.
A cowboy, they're all screwed up. Robert says, I heard Nolan stunk. Yeah, Nolan wasn't very exciting to watch today. I didn't think Nolan Smith was too good today. And, even more than that, it's just the fact that why would he play so long in the most meaningless preseason game that there possibly is, Wombat Zombat, what is going on, my man? How are you? Show enough says we get enough receiving tight ends. We need more blockers. Well, what tight ends do we have on this team that can even block? That really good blockers besides Goddard. I mean, Calcaterra's not a blocker. Jenkins is not a blocker. I don't think Albert O is a blocker. I don't think they have it. I just don't think they have it.
You know what? If they have to, look at here's one thing. If Johnny Wilson's not going to have I think Johnny Wilson will have opportunity in short yardage or red zone or something like that, because we know his blocking looks pretty damn good. And I think they could put him in as a tight end for specific plays, just for the blocking aspect. You can use Johnny Wilson. They can always move him around if they really want to. So I think you have options there, but like I said, it's very limited. EJ Jenkins ain't no promise, but it's very limited. And Dallas Goedert has an injury right now. Like, we don't even know what's going on with that. Like, is he going to miss the first week?
Both tight ends have an injury. Always. So wide receiver wise, who are we looking at? We got Devontae, AJ, right? Those are your top 2 guys. Then you have Dotson now. Britton Covey 4, because he's also punt returner. And then, so that's 4. I don't think they cut Anaya Smith, being that he's a 4th round pick. That's 5.
Johnny Wilson.
And I think they got plans for Johnny Wilson in the red zone. That's 6. So that means Ross and Campbell could be on the outs. That's kind of crazy, dude. Yeah, I think so. Unless they keep 7 wide receivers. Would they keep 7? I don't know that they would.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah, I think Johnny sees red zone opportunities too. The only thing they could do is, if they want to keep Campbell on the team and only want to keep 6, they might be able to slide Johnny Wilson to the IR for a while.
They could do that too,
yeah. Yeah, Wilson Smith makes 6. So I think you're looking at Campbell. I think Campbell and John Ross are going to be gone.
Campbell played today, didn't he? He played today.
He played. Yeah, he didn't do nothing.
Didn't do nothing.
It's how about you? I can't blame him.
You missed all the time.
Kenny Pickett is throwing him the ball. Kenny Pickett can't throw the ball over 4 yards. Like, literally can't throw the ball over 4 yards. I can't stand watching him play. Dude, it's like a toothache that isn't like super painful. It's like that dull pain that you deal with for hours and hours. It's torture.
maybe
watching him play.
Maybe they just don't know how to. I'm not saying they don't know how to produce backups, but it's just to a point where just because they've had familiar with Pickett because of the draft and really, that they sat with him and like potentially we didn't know if Jalen Hurts was going to get another chance really. Because of how they were building the offense around him, because they still had they had Jalen Reagor. Like they didn't seem like if Jalen Hurts was going to be the prime starter, like it didn't seem like they were treating it that way and he wasn't paid yet, obviously. But why aren't you building around the QB? So we figured they want to go after Kenny Pickett. They met with Kenny Pickett. They had lobster, they had steak, they took him out to dinner, and you know what I mean? Like, I feel like because they have this familiarity with quarterbacks, they think they can get the best out of them. But we know, like, at that point when they switched 3rd, 4th round picks, whatever the hell they did in that stupid trade, like what did they think he was going to turn into? I don't know. I was up and down about it myself. But you don't want to, it's less money because you're going to pay Mariota $5 million. That was a waste. Like, it's just, you know what I mean? So what do you do?
Listen, I get it. You take a chance. I have no problem with taking a chance, but when clearly the other guy is better, play the other guy. Like, get the other guy ready. Don't say, well, because we traded for him and because he's this, we're going to force him to be the guy. I mean, he cannot throw the ball over 4 yards. All he does is dump it off. It's completely torturous watching him play, and he has to wear gloves.
His pocket awareness is
literally
the worst.
Can't hold. His hands are so small that he can't hold on to the ball without gloves on. Oh man, I
wouldn't. That guy wouldn't hear a garbage truck going like behind him. Like he wouldn't hear any of that. I swear, it's bad.
Kyle says, I know Fangio liked the scheme in Miami with Phillips and be able to rush and cover, but had Taron Jackson playing. But he had Taron Jackson playing. Now he's forcing some players to play different positions, but all of them can't. Well, yeah, he's definitely forcing it. And they're going to have to. I think that's why they like Jalen Hunt so much, because he can do a bit of both. But, yeah, I mean, they're definitely forcing some guys. I mean, they basically, I guess Reddick told him he didn't want to do it because he's gone. And we're going to see how we're going to know this first game versus Green Bay. We're going to know. We're going to know quick.
Yeah,
how bad this is going to be.
Yeah, I mean, you go into, like you say, you're going to this first game. You have a starting defense and a starting offense that had no preseason snaps versus a Green Bay team that had plenty of. I'm not saying that Green Bay's better, but we might not be on the same level that first week because they haven't played in game-like situations yet. I'm not saying Green Bay's better, so people will twist the words around. Like, I think Green Bay could be more prepared in that first game, but this offense has got to be. It's got to be clicking. It's got to be clicking from the jump.
Yeah, we're going to find out. We're going to find out. Steve says, I don't know why people are down on Cooper after one meaningless preseason game. People are actually calling him a bust. That's crazy. The guy might be a future Pro Bowl. Yeah, people were calling him a bust. I was shocked too. I thought that, it looked like the first 2-3 series that he was in, it just looked like he was just trying to get his feet under him. You know what I mean? And I thought he got better as the game went on, and I think he started to become impactful. But yeah, I don't know why either. I don't think either. I won't even call Nolan Smith a bust yet. And people are waiting. I won't call anybody after just 1 year a bust. There's things like if you look at like let's say you take Nakobe Dean, right? Like Nakobe was either a bust or now he's the greatest linebacker ever. I'm very excited that Nakobe Dean showed signs of life, right, for 2 preseason games and practice. He started getting better. Like, I'm very happy about it. But that doesn't mean you can crown him a Pro Bowl linebacker. We're not saying that. You can't say that. We're just saying, look, he looks like he's playing better than what we thought. Maybe he'll be okay. But until you get out there, we don't know. We won't know.
Yeah, but the thing is, too, is like you're not even just looking into this year for this season, which is more important, obviously, but you have to look at the future, too, because even going to next year, like if Jordan Davis plays like shit this year and Milton Williams is going to be a free agent, that's a double whammy of bad news. So technically, like the Eagles might have to double down on DT and go for another edge guy next year. I mean, who knows? They might have to get a monster nose, and who knows at this point? You're losing Josh Sweat after this year. You know what I mean? Nolan Smith, like you're going to give him another year after this year. So hopefully by like middle of this year, maybe we'll see something, but it's a lot that the Eagles have put a lot of faith into a lot of uncertainty. And the Hassan Reddick thing really fucking screwed us. It really, I don't want to say it screwed us for consistent play every game. It screwed us for your closer, and it screwed us for at least year to year consistent seasons, but not consistent games for more of a less fit with this team this year. So it's up and down. I'm very up and down about the whole situation on this defensive line and some of the moves.
Well, we just don't know yet. We just don't know, because I will say this though. I really think if the interior of that defensive line is dominating, I really think that the edge rushers will come along and be okay. But Jalen Carter, Jordan, they gotta play. They gotta play on a high. They gotta play as first round picks. Okay.
Yeah.
And I know some people are even down on Jordan Davis. I think Jordan Davis has shown enough flashes of being able to be really good. He's just got to be able to do it all year long.
Right.
But I can't say these guys are bust yet until we know. Hopefully Nolan Smith will come out and be fine. Hopefully, Bryce Huff. I mean, Bryce Huff is an important piece. He's getting a lot of money. He's getting a lot of money to go out there. I mean, he needs to be double-digit sacks. I think the over-under, shout out Bet US, I think the over-under is like 7 sacks for the season. Like, he's got to be over 7 sacks.
He's got to hit 7 sacks. That's what makes me, that's what. He came from a totally different scheme, or at least because Fangio says he's going to be doing the same things he used to do, but it's definitely different. Like it's a totally new position because he doesn't drop. Like I'm sorry, but when we hear about training camp, it's not enough for me. When I don't see it, I haven't seen enough of Bryce Huff in person. Or at least through the TV or whatever. I haven't seen enough with a lot of players. It's very hard to analyze.
I can't make any judgments about these guys yet until we get into the regular season. Even Nolan Smith. All I can tell you is that the 3 games that we've seen, there are certain guys that in those 3 games they did not play good. Some guys played great. I thought Ben Van Sumeren today, I thought he was taking people's heads off, man. I kind of feel pretty good about our linebackers,
Yeah, it's looking good. Competition's been good.
Cody says Nolan Smith was injured a lot and didn't get much reps. That hurt. Yeah, it did. I mean, he was hurt early in the year last year, right? He hurt his shoulder. So yeah, maybe he just needs reps. We'll know when we get to the regular season game, because when it's not these preseason games anymore and these guys have to go make plays, there's no more excuses. And we're going up against a team that can score and can move the ball. So, I mean, we're going up against a pretty good offense, Yeah.
How many games did Jordan Love play last year, by the way?
I don't think he played all of them. Didn't he play all of them? I don't know. Let's see.
Chat, let us know. How many games did Jordan Love – Look, Jordan Love has gotten a lot of hype, okay? He's gotten a lot of hype after that playoff win against Dallas.
He's good.
I'm not saying he's a bad player at all, but I want to know if chat, let somebody search it up. How many games did
he played in 17 games last year.
Okay, I just want to make sure. I didn't know.
17 games, 32 touchdowns, 11 interceptions.
I thought he played less for some. That's weird. I thought he played less last year.
Yeah. He had 4 rushing touchdowns. And he ran for 247 yards. So he threw 32 touchdowns last year. I'm telling you, the guy's a stud. And now they got themselves a running back.
Mm-hmm.
I think that Eagles-Packer game is going to be 34-31. I think it's a high-scoring game.
Yeah, Vic's going to have to blitz in that game. I'll tell you that.
Yeah.
Have to. He got paid for 9 games. That's what someone says.
Yeah, because I don't think he started great. I think they kind of started slow, but he got hot at the end of the year, the second half of the year. He just got paid too, right? So
yeah, he did.
Mm-hmm. My gosh, can we please get over the Haas thing? We had a team before him, and we'll after him. I think it's hard for people to just understand what happened. And until you kind of get guys that go out there and replace them, people are going to wonder why the extra move. You didn't need to do it,
Yeah, we
So,
keep talking about it just because we're seeing like what else is on the edge right now that's not producing. So you have to look back and look at that move and say, even if Hassan Reddick was gonna hold out, I think he was gonna hold out regardless, and he's at a specific number that he's just not moving from at this point. So the Eagles did the right thing. They did the right thing. I think Hassan should have had better judgment, but I think the Eagles did the right thing because they just want to rip the Band-Aid off and not have to deal with this. But obviously on the Jets' part, where they don't even have the pen and paper ready or have a contract already ready for him to sign, I think is the most ridiculous thing. And that's why Reddick is acting, or we don't even know if like what they even offered. It could have been a low ball. Maybe it was a little bit more money. Who knows if it was the actual number, but the Eagles have got a free draft pick out of it. You know what I mean? They got a free. They'll get a what is it? A third to a second or whatever, a conditional third in 26, whatever.
Mm-hmm.
If he does this, whatever. But if he even shows up at this point, but it does hurt. I think it hurt a part of our game a little bit. As really, mm-hmm. It's not even the sacks. It's really just being the closer that he is. Like, fourth quarter, minute and a half left, fourth down, got to make this stop. And you had a guy that could do that, and you don't now. So, sorry, I'm ranting about it, but
no. I mean, it's just. I think if Bryce Huff and those guys go do their job, then nobody will talk about it.
Mm-hmm.
But if we're watching things like Nolan Smith today, then people are going to start questioning about it. Jerome asked, did Cooper DeJean have a good game? I thought he was okay. I would have given him a B- if I graded today. I would have given him a B-. I thought he started off a little bit slow, like he had to get his feet under him. But I thought as the game went on, I thought he's got stronger and stronger as the game went on. So
mm-hmm.
I thought he was fine. I thought he was fine, Zeke McPherson's cut. Quinion, I think, McPherson, I thought he just wasn't good,
Yeah, maybe he's just,
Christian Watson will prove to be Green Bay. Christian Watson's a good receiver.
Great.
They got good receivers. Yeah, listen, that's going to be a tough game. Can you believe that's on a Friday still?
Friday night?
Friday on Peacock. I know, man.
Go get your Peacock subscriptions.
Yeah, right? Yeah, I mean, we'll see. If Sweat can't produce, I want Hunt to get in the game. I want Hunt in the game anyways. Like, you got to find ways to get him on the field. He's got a lot of talent. You know what I mean?
Yeah, Sweat makes me nervous a little bit. Makes me a little nervous.
Oh, I just don't know. It's just been quiet, Leon says 500. I think Green Bay will beat us, sadly. I mean, they could. I think this is a tough game. I think if you win this game, I think you're going to rip off a bunch of wins in a row. But the thing that worries me about going into this game is, one, you're in Brazil. And then, so you're traveling and stuff, even though it's considered a home game. And then, two, it's just like not playing the starters at all. We haven't seen anything. I just have no idea what to expect from the offense and how they're going to look week one,
Yeah, I mean, the first game is always a toss-up because it's the first game. But the issue I am having is that the starters haven't played in a game-like situation with one joint practice. And you can only get away with so much, of what players do good against each other in practice for so many weeks and so many days. It's just it runs the sewer dry a little bit, So.
Right. Fabio Davis, Super Chat, Mack or Hayward to help this defense? I think at the trade deadline, around the deadline, I think Mack could be the more likely guy. The question is what does he have left? I know he had like 17 sacks last year, but we got Robert Quinn had 17
We've
sacks.
been down that road.
We've been down that road. But I do think it's interesting that Mack came out and went out of his way to praise Vic Fangio. So we'll see. What's up, J-Dog? Where's Kareem Hunt go? Where is Kareem Hunt? Is he still in? Is he with Cleveland still? I don't know where he's at.
He might have signed back maybe on a 1 year. I don't know, though. I could be wrong.
Yeah. Ben Van Sumeren does look like a player, man. I like him a lot. I thought him and McCallum were the best two players today. He's definitely making this team. I have no doubt about it.
Agreed. Feel good.
Jalen Carter and Jordan Davis need help on the edge. Jalen Carter and Jordan Davis, to me, are the key to this defense. They've got to play like number ones. And then, yeah, of course, there's got to be some help on the edge. But I also think that them playing well will help the edge a lot. Yeah, Mac did play for Vic before, though. He did.
The Bears, yeah.
Pickett and Tommy DeVito beat Love last season. Relax. I think that Green Bay team early was not the same Green Bay team that finished the year. Do you think we can steal Parsons away from Dallas? If he hits free agency, yeah, he'll be an Eagle. If he hits free agency, he'll be an Eagle. I have no idea what's going on in Dallas. They're still talking contract and signings like every day. Like they have nothing else going for them. So I just don't know what to expect from Dallas. I know Bland just got hurt. He's out 6 to 8 weeks. So they just lost their starting corner.
Yeah, and Diggs is coming off injury now. When did Diggs get hurt last year? When did he get hurt?
I think early in the season. I think it was early. I don't know what week, but it was early in the season.
Didn't Trey Lance throw 5? I heard that he threw 5 picks today. He threw 5 picks.
Who? Jordan Love?
Trey Lance threw 5 picks.
Oh, did he really?
Yeah, I think so.
Oh, Mark Holmes will love that. Mark Holmes thinks that protects his boy Dak. Steve says Jordan Davis, Jalen Carter, Milton Williams is going to be 3 biggest defenders this year. I agree with you. Everybody always leaves Milton Williams out. I know that. Oh well, Milton Williams is gonna be impactful. I mean, he's gonna rotate in. The question is can they find a way to keep him long term? Like I would try to get a deal done with him, like before the season ends. My first model have the Eagles winning by 8. My second model I have the Eagles winning by 2. My third model I have the Eagles winning by 1. That being said, third model takes last year's stats last year. Isn't well. I mean, I hope you're right. As long as we come away with the win week 1, I think we'll be okay.
Yeah.
It's a Philly thing. Says I'm sleeping on the Packers. I'm definitely not sleeping on the Packers.
At the end of the day, you don't want to come out of that game 0-1 going into your home opener against. I say a Falcons team is that I wouldn't think bad things. They're starting to come around a little bit. Yeah,
they have some talent. I mean, they're playing Kirk Cousins playing. I think it's a Monday night game. Nah, Kirk Cousins prime time. We're gonna be all right. We'll be all right. Yeah. Coyote David Super Chat goes trade Trey Lance for Kenny Pickett. I don't want either of them. If I had the choice, I would take neither. Eagles Army Down Under. Thank you for Super Chat. I'm excited for this season. I kind of get that 2017 vibes. I put $100 on Hurts MVP. I got $100 on Hurts MVP too. $100 Carter Defensive Player of the Year, and Eagles $100 on Eagles Super Bowl. Just believe. Damn. I'm with you, man. I got money on Hurts MVP. I got money on the Eagles Super Bowl, and I got money on Saquon Barkley over like 1,000. It's like 1,056 yards. I got the over. But yeah, I feel pretty good about this team overall. When you look at the season as a whole, I just worry about some things at the start of the season. But to me, that edge rusher situation is going to be the biggest question mark.
I think so too. I think edge rusher is a huge liability right now. No doubt.
Yeah, I don't even want to call it a liability. I won't call it a liability. I'll just say it's just I just don't know what to expect.
Yeah.
That's what I want to see. Will Josh Sweat arrive? Will he get back to form like he was 2 years ago? Mm-hmm. How much does Brandon Graham have left in the tank? Does Nolan Smith develop? And does Bryce Huff live up to his contract? These are all the questions we got. And I would not be surprised if the Eagles do something before
wouldn't shock me.
Mm-mm. It would not shock me if Yannick Ngakoue or somebody like that.
No,
definitely not at all. But I mean, we will see. We will see. Anyways, we got about 829 people in the chat. Thank you guys so much for being here. Hit that like. Make sure you subscribe. If you haven't, click the link in the description. Go sub up my man Joey Shakes if you're on my channel, and we appreciate you guys being here.
Yes.
Let's see. McPherson is good special teams. Yeah, I don't think he's going to make it, McPherson. I want the Eagles to keep Burks, though, the linebacker.
Yeah, with one game.
I want
under his belt.
more. I like them though. I like the idea that you have, like just an extra guy just in case. But I mean, I like what I've seen from Trotter. I've liked what I've seen from Ben Van Sumeren. I like what I saw from N'Kobe. I saw from the Devin White. I like what I've seen from everybody but Vaughn. Vaughn I really have no opinion of at this point.
I feel like Zach Vaughn has been like the teacher's pet for Vic Fangio. I feel like he's been like the favorite of Vic Fangio. And I feel like because of these preseason games, we haven't seen him. And like, he's just another kid we haven't seen enough of. Like, he's a big mystery, in my opinion.
Quinion taking 27 and Jahan Dotson gets 13. Well, Dotson's 87, right? Dotson's 87 right now. And the reason I haven't bought a Quinion Mitchell jersey is because I've been expecting him to go and change that number to 27.
Sometimes they change in their second year. Sometimes not even when they get into the regular season of the rookie year. Sometimes in the second year they actually get their number after that. So sometimes it takes 2 years to buy Eagles jerseys.
Yeah, we'll see. How you liking Vic Fangio's defense calling? I don't know. I'm more wait and see. I'm really wait and see with the defense. I'm not gonna kill them or try to be like extra negative.
Yeah,
but I can't be over positive. Let's see what happens. I want to see what they look like week 1.
I think me and Philly, what we really like about Vic, if we were to pick something, I think we like all the blitz packages. I think when Vic Fangio says, I believe in blitzing, the blitz packages are. We like that. It's a passive off-ball scheme, but he loves to blitz, and it's a great thing. It's a great thing to see. So I want to see plenty of that. Yeah.
J-Dog says 500. Tell Joey hate comments you were getting today. Nah, he don't want to hear about that. He don't want to hear about those. I get these emails every other day lately. It's people send me emails telling me I have no neck. I wake up, I drink my coffee in the morning, and I read my no neck emails. Just really nice people.
Great person.
Cracks me up. Great people. Yeah, the D line makes its defensive play calling better. The D line is good. Is the key. It's the key. Yeah, they say I have no neck, so I'm going to grow a neck this season. That's my goal.
You have a neck?
I have a neck. Just hiding. That's all. 7-2, 26 lane. Yeah, hit that like button. Absolutely. Yeah, J-Dog, no neck 500. I could think I knew J-Dog. I could count on him for a nice compliment. I think we should cut Trey Campbell and sign Renfro, Michael Thomas. You think cut? I think Campbell's gone. I don't think Renfro or Thomas will get signed now. They will have 4 to 5 solid guys that could step up at any point in play. Even if AJ Smith goes down, we got ballers. I mean, I get what you're saying, but I don't think it's going to happen. I definitely don't. I don't see it. I definitely don't see it. Mm-hmm. Yeah. So, anyways, is there anything else we want to talk about before all these comments just become about my neck and I have like 20 emails or more?
It's done now. So we'll wait till Tuesday for final 53. Wednesday we'll have I think it's like 15, 16 players to the practice squad. We'll see that list. We'll try to. We won't have a stream till next weekend, so we'll do our final 53s. We'll go over that on the final 53 next week, and make sure to check out the Philly Shakedown merch with the new redemption line that we have out. We got some more stuff. I actually talked to our guy the other day. I'll talk to you after the stream, but we have some things cooking right now. So
Nicholas says today was Anaya Smith's best game. I wonder if he sticks or goes to the practice squad. He's definitely staying. Yeah. I know. I see it all. This is it. I wake up in the morning and I'm like, emails. Oh, why don't you get a neck? Why don't you grow a neck? I'm like, here we go. It's the morning. It's crazy. It's not gonna hurt my feelings. There's nothing that I don't say worse about myself than people can say. Double chin behind my head, my friend. I'm thinking we make an NFC Championship game. Maybe I listen. Anything less than an NFC Championship game to me is disappointment. It just is.
Yeah, have you? Really, realistically, is this? with Jahan Dotson now in this offense and Saquon Barkley in the backfield now, two positions that needed upgrades. You look at the 22 Super Bowl, though, I think those were our two weakest positions offensively. What do you say? Have they gotten upgrades? Could this be better than what we've ever seen in a long time from an Eagles offense?
But I'm just going to show off my chin right now. Yeah, I think it could be. You know, we'll just have to see. No, I mean, I think in a long time we've got some positions just in general. I think that could be some of the best positions we've had in a long time. You know, they just got to go out and play. That's the thing. Mm-hmm. You know, on paper, there's a lot of areas that look like, man, that's the best I've seen these positions. You know, I mean, wide receiver, I think it's already been proven in 2 years with Devontae and AJ. But, you know, there's other positions we just got to see. They have potential. That's for sure.
The main thing is someone's always going to be open in this offense, whether it's the check down, whether it's anything else. It's, you know, as long as Jalen Hurts goes through his progressions and this, you know, Kellen Moore and Doug Newsom, the quarterback coach, are doing right by him, then we should be good to go. We should be good to go.
Yeah. Danielson asked if it was ugly. I didn't watch today's preseason. It was ugly. Yeah, it was really ugly. It was, and it was crazy. What made this game worse today was that the referees kept calling penalties. Like, they kept throwing the flag. They threw 4 flags on the first drive. It's like, why are you calling these flags? Let these guys play and just let's get out of here.
I mean, McConnell's up by 20 points and you're challenging a fucking play. Like, dude, like, come on now. Like, and not even that. We couldn't get looks on kick return because they kept kicking it in the fucking end zone. Like, don't you want to see, like, what your special teams do? Like, you know, like, they just didn't want to give more looks. I don't know what the fuck is with that. That was weird too. Like, prolong the shit even more.
And then watching Pickett play a whole half is torture in itself.
Yeah,
it's just torture watching. There was a couple times where Nia Smith comes crossing the middle, and like if Pickett just hits him in stride, like he'd have a big. And he can't throw over 4 yards. Can't throw over like 2 yards. He just can't. You know, it's crazy. True. Fabio, David Super Chickens, will Texans beat the sack record with Will and no? I don't think they'll beat the sack record. I'm gonna say no. Thank you for that super chat, by the way. Robert says, did our second string, a couple of the guys on the second string play?
Barely.
The whole units did not play, but there was a couple guys that played. Nolan Smith played. DeJean played. And that was about it, right? I don't think anybody. Who else was out there? And from second team, I don't remember.
Yeah,
Trotter was out there for like 2 series. So, yeah, I don't think there was that many guys out there.
Yeah, true.
But
I believe it.
All right, guys. Well, look, thank you so much for joining us tonight. We're going to get out of here. It's 9:30 on the East Coast, the Philly Shakedown podcast. We'll return next Saturday, and that we'll be previewing the game a week away. So hopefully the regular season will get here soon enough. That's what I think.
We're already here.
DeJean did all right. He started off kind of slow. Looked like he had to get his feet underneath him. As the game went on, he got stronger and stronger, and I think he got more comfortable. So I would have given him like a B-. That's what I would have given him today. So DeJean was fine. Yeah. All right, guys. Well, with that said, we are out of here. We will talk to you later, of course. Don't be a dingbat. Peace.
2 minutes to go. You have plenty of time.
Come on.
Oh, shit! Dad! No!
It's over! It's over! This game is over! Cut it off! It's over!
Fuck.
Congratulations, Green Bay! Congratulations, Green Bay! Congratulations, Green Bay!
I said run the ball.
Congratulations, Green Bay! Dak Prescott, you need to be fired today! That was on you, Dak! That was on you, Dak! That was on you, Dad!
I said run the ball.
That was on Dak Prescott! Trying to defend the CeeDee Lamb! Trying to defend the CeeDee Lamb! You tried to defend the CeeDee Lamb! You got to give it to CeeDee Lamb! God!
Crazy.
It's over! It's over, Dak! Put Trey Lance in the game. Trey Lance can't do worse than you.
I'm an idiot because I buy into this shit. I buy into this shit. Because here's the thing. I am a grown-ass man. And I talk the talk. It is killing me.
I feel it coming. I feel like it's going to take Jerry Jones taking